welcome to day 2 of the little mini master class where we are talking about hormone harmonizing and we are talking about releasing weight without resistance. So yesterday we talked a little bit more about diet and exercise and really speaking to the metabolism, because obviously you want to release weight, you want to be targeting the metabolism. Muscle is the best marker to really help you indicate your youthfulness and health moving forward, and it helps you remain leaner. So if you're new to me, my name is Melissa Valentine, and today we are going to be talking a little bit more specifically about the female hormones and how you can dance with your natural rhythms, where we can feel less resistance and more love for ourselves, right? And so we're going to be wanting to talk about, there's 3 main keys when it comes to releasing weight, releasing the resistance, and really getting in harmony with our bodies, with our lives, with our mood, with our energy, with our surroundings. And that's the metabolism, the energetics, which is again where I introduce hormones, because it's all about energy, it's all about emotions, right? And we change 4 times every single month. We are completely different women. I just did a video module for the 3rd phase in the female cycle, which is ovulation in the first half of the luteal phase, and I talk about how there's so much wrong information and how this one module will change your health, will change your outlook, will change your energy, will basically change so much for you moving forward. And the last part again is going to be the empowerment, because we got to make sure our mindset, not just our mind, not our conscious mind, our subconscious mind, right? Our subconscious mind is helping move us forward. So whenever you have a goal, you have your desire, which is your consciousness, and then you have your subconscious, which tends to get in the way. So we'll talk a little bit more specifically about self-sabotage tomorrow, because I decided, even though we have 3 main areas that I like to focus on, which is the female metabolism, different than the regular metabolism, the energetics or the hormonal harmonizing, and then we have the empowerment, which is rewiring your belief system, your identity. I wanted to give you guys an extra day of the self-sabotage, the inner rebel, because it is so fascinating when you start to understand the workings of it, how it can kind of open up the possibilities for who you really want to become and being able to step into that version of yourself without the resistance. But today we're going to be talking about understanding, acknowledging, and accepting your cycles and emotional patterns. So important for feeling vital, right? We're going to be talking about, you want to, when you really harmonize with your hormones, you're going to be able to stay consistent with your body's natural rhythms easily and really be able to move through those feelings of defeat and irritation that can pop up throughout the month. You'll be able to tap into the healing energies and release any kind of insecurities and guilt, shame, and excess fat. Right? You'll be able to, when you really connect with your hormones and you understand what's going on and how it's going to shift your energy, sometimes your personality, this is going to allow you to really figure out, how do you connect to the go-getter? How do you complete tasks without burning out, right? Really being able to understand the difference between the hustle and the flow, and still having fun, being creative, keeping your energy up all at the same time, right? It's being in harmony, but it's different for women because it's not one way. It's not like you figure out one week and then the next week you just replicate that. It's going to be different, so you have to understand these ebbs and flows, the hustle and the flow, when to socialize, when to hermit, right? When to go inwards. So we want to also tap into the body secrets. Your body has so much knowledge, and that we are completely ignoring it. We're not tapped in as women to our body's secrets. And when you're able to finally break through this and understand this, you will break through plateaus. You are going to break through the resistance, right? In order to really accept and admire and love your body. You're going to be able to finally heal the distrust and fear around gaining weight. You'll be able to release that pressure of being thin, right? There's so much pressure. We put so much pressure on ourselves, and that's no way to live, right? This is not how it's supposed to be. We want to be able to open the communication with yourself, because this is a love affair with yourself, right? We're harmonizing with ourselves, and when we are in love with ourselves, we magnetize and attract and engage the world around us. But we have to open up that communication with ourselves. And you'll be able to really understand how to move in ways that excite and delight you. Like, you'll really be able to become the girl you always wanted to be. And it all comes down to harmonizing your hormones. It all comes down to understanding that motivation, the energy, the ease, and that it's actually different each week. And the more we can harmonize with it, the easier it gets. Because the more you resist, the more the resist persists. Right? I'm rhyming over here. If you are enjoying this, give me a hey below. Let me know where you're coming from. If you have any questions, drop them below. Just so you know, I am offering 3 days to work with me one-on-one to create your blueprint. So if you watched the master classes yesterday's, which is about metabolism, today, which is about harmonizing your hormones, tomorrow it's going to be about self-sabotage, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about rewiring your mind and really tapping into your intuition and being able to recreate and step into that next level identity of being exactly who you want to be. So if you want help with that, 3 days, we can work together. We can create your blueprint together. Also, it's very helpful to download my Dream Body Method book because I detail a lot of this. Not so much the hormone harmonizing, but I talk about the energy, and those are connected, and you'll see how in a couple minutes. All of these are going to be about 15 to 20 minutes max, and these masterclasses will be up until Wednesday. So, wanting to go back, so this is all the things that you're going to create by harmonizing with your hormones. And I want to remind everyone as we move forward, because I'm going to be intertwining 2 different topics here for you guys and giving you guys some homework that I want you guys to send to me when we're done with this, right? To help you create your blueprint. Everything is energy. Everything is energy. Your emotions vibrate at a certain level, and we can measure it, right? Your emotions vibrate. So your energy vibrates at the same level of the emotions. So wherever your emotions are, that's what you are vibrating, and you're going to be able to feel that resonance in your body. And we're going to explain why this is so important. Your intentions vibrate. Everything vibrates, and everything can be measured. Everything is energy. So what I like to talk about with this is, during our cycle, we have these ebbs and flows, right? We have times during the month when we're going to have lower energies, and it's going to be a really good time to pull things up and out. Like, your pain body is actually going to pull things out for you to heal and work on. You're going to have times of the month where it is such a great opportunity for you to tap into your physicalness, right? Your physicalness, your diet, your exercise, and just really dig deep in and like push yourself, and it's going to feel good, and it's going to benefit the other energies of the rest of the month. What I want to talk about today is the cycle a little bit. So when we think about our cycle, there's a couple main things that are really important to understand. One is that, yes, it ebbs and flows. Every single week, we are a different person. So we're going to have somewhat even of a different personality, a different mood, different energy. We're going to either be more outgoing, more introverted, right? It's going to be a great time for us to sit and deep flow in work, or it might be a really good time to get out and socialize. It might be a time where you really need extra nurturing. It might be a time where you feel like a goddess, like you actually look like, you look in the mirror and you go, oh dang, I'm looking good, right? But sometimes these signals can be crossed, and this is why we really want to understand our bodies and communicate with our bodies better and understand what our bodies are trying to communicate to us. So if we think about energies, and I'm going to bring it back to energies because this is just one way to think about it, but I'm going to connect the energy to the where you are in your cycle, in your phases, right? So if we think about the different energy levels, I'm going to really divide this very basically, but in my book, I go deeper into it. So if you're fascinated and you want to learn more, this is going to be a great time to do it. So during our bleed, I like to talk about this one first because it's the most recognizable part of our phase. This is going to be the phase when a lot of times we're not feeling great and we don't have a lot of energy. So if we are looking at harmonizing with it, if we look at it just from energy wise, this is a lot of times when blame and shame can kind of come up. Sometimes cravings can come up. Sometimes we can feel a little more stressed. So the different energy levels, we'll say the lower ones are going to be blame and shame. We go a little bit higher, we have craving, stress, frustration. We go a little bit higher, we have discipline, content, like this is a really good body one for that week. And then you go a little bit higher and you have ultimate health and abundance, right? So you want to move your way up, but we're going to have things called pockets of energy that are going to pull us back down. And you can actually see where they're more likely to come up in your cycle during certain times of the month. Now, I just got done creating a module about the luteal phase and the ovulation phase, why it's so important to pretty much do exactly the opposite of what other people are doing and other people are prescribing, because it's making us very sick and it's throwing off our hormonal health, our health in general as women. So we want to make sure that we are really understanding what's going on week to week. But during this week, during the period, this is a really good time to nurture and to actually heal those deep-seated wounds. It's a really good time for forgiveness processes. And when I work with my clients one-on-one, I have processes from neuro-linguistic programming where we can actually go in and we can do healing sessions where we can pull these emotions up and out so that you can release insecurities, you can release shame, you can release guilt, all of these things that end up resulting in excess fat as a protective mechanism. We can even talk about this more in tomorrow's class where I'm going to be going into self-sabotage. There is a protective part of you, and sometimes our extra weight on our body is a symptom. Unwanted weight is a symptom, right? And so this is one way to get to the root cause, is being able to pull up and release that old low level, again, shame, blame, low level energy, right? In the next week, after we're going through the period, we come into the next week where this is a great week to get physical. We can handle stress. We've got it going on. This is a really good week to really work out, to get into a new diet routine. This is a great week to push yourself. We can handle stress really, really well. And for me, I feel like this is a good week to really elevate your energy, right? And so if we're talking about blame and shame, and then we're talking about the cravings, the stress, and the frustration, which is still low level energy, but during this week, this is where your highest energy is going to be, one of the highest energies. And so this is a good time to elevate, to be able to tap in and go, how can I elevate this energy even more? This is something that you can do in my book. I literally go through and I explain this all. But during this time, we want to go, who am I surrounding myself with? What am I talking about? Am I talking about people or am I talking about ideas? This is a great time for new ideas. This is a great time for doing high intensity interval work. This is a great time to really push yourself. And then after this time, we really want to get in sync. We want to come back down, and then during this next level is a really great time to handle the stress. And this is what I want to talk about a little bit more, because our hormones, one big thing that really affects our hormones is going to be emotional and stress or nervous system regulation. So because these things directly affect your endocrine system, right? So they're directly going to affect your hormone balance, directly. So what we want to make sure is that during the hormone harmonizing, when we're really focusing on this, we want to go, am I emotionally and stress-wise, am I managing this correctly? And things that you want to be focusing on when you want to manage stress. And I don't know if a lot of people understand this exactly, and I talk a lot about this with my clients in my programs. When you work with me one-on-one, we create your blueprint, your stress blueprint, your releasing unresolved negative emotions so you can release that low-level energy that brings you back to self-sabotage over and over again, emotional eating. You can stop all that. Like that stuff is not something that you need to live through anymore. But when it comes to stress, there's three things that you really want to focus on. One, especially trauma that's trapped in the body, because this trauma is trapped in the body. It's not just something you can think your way out of. This is why this is separate from mindset. This is separate from the empowerment, the beliefs thing. This is a body-based thing. So one, when it comes to stress, you need body-based nervous system regulation. Two, you want to understand when you need to actually change your circumstances. You need to understand where the stress, where the trauma is coming from, and is there things that are triggered? When do you change it and when do you transform yourself? Because those are two different things. And the third one is understanding how do you give yourself permission? Because a lot of times stress is perpetuated, the trauma is perpetuated, it's held inside because we don't give ourselves permission to feel it. We go, this is bad, and you resist it and you ignore it and you push away, but you want to be able to give it permission to be there, right? So those are three really big stress processes that you want to get to know intimately so that you can make sure that the emotions and the stress are no longer causing hormonal dysfunction, right? Another big thing that's going to affect the hormones is going to be your liver. So making sure that you're detoxing and that you're supporting the liver, right? Those are two big things. And another big thing is actually sugar. I was trying to see if there's something else. Oh, another big thing for hormonal health. This isn't stress related, but just hormonal health in all like aspects of it. When you're really, really thinking about it, you do want to be thinking about healthy fats. So those are some major tips that I can give you when it comes to harmonizing your hormones. Remember, this is about feeling your best. This is about being energetic, being motivated, feeling an ease, releasing those negative feelings, the insecurities, releasing the resistance, being able to openly communicate with your body, understand your body, be more in alignment with your body. So these are the things that I want you to really focus on. Remember, we are different every single week. So if you learn something, if you do something one way, next week it's not going to work for you and it could very well make you gain weight. Again, if you're exercising and you're eating one way one week, it might be great, and next week it actually could make you gain weight. One week it could actually cause you to get sick. It could cause you to increase your likelihood of getting cancer, heart disease. Like one thing is you should not be running, right? You should not be long distance running because this is going to negatively affect your cortisol. And what happens is that is going to affect your hormonal balance, and it is going to cause major dysfunction down the road, even cancer. So just kind of throwing that out there. So what I want from you guys is, yesterday I wanted you guys to kind of tap into the metabolism, get some basic things down. Today what I would like you to do is reach out to me, and I want you to, now it's important to have the book because this is going to go a little bit deeper and it's going to help you, but the exercise is I want you to be able to create your next steps with me, right? So I want you to reach out and I want you to reflect on your day-to-day life. Okay, so reflect on your day-to-day life, and I want you to look over the chart that I put in the book. I can even put it in, maybe I can add one to the comments here. I want you to look over the chart, and I want you to write down where you measure energetically. So I want you to go, okay, where are my low-level pockets? What do you need to clear to achieve hormonal balance and your dream body? So the low-level pockets, remember, that's going to be the low-level energies that pop up. Either it's very likely they'll pop up around your PMS time, especially if you're having some hormonal dysfunction. And even if you're not hormonally dysfunction, it's a natural rhythm of your body. So understanding that your body time to time, every month is naturally going to be programmed to pull that pain body up and out for you to work on, to process through, because there's soul lessons there, right? There's something you need to learn there. So what I want you to do is to look over this chart. Again, it's in my book. Otherwise, I can also send you a link if you need the link to the book. So it's the general is blame and shame, cravings, frustration, and anxiety. Then you have like content, being disciplined, but there can be a little bit of boredom here. And then up here is no longer low level energy. So these are going to be the low level energies. You want to look through your day-to-day life and go, where are the pockets? So it doesn't necessarily mean where you are all the time. Normally you could be very content, you could be courageous and like really getting out there. These two are awesome, right? You can be right here and still have low-level pockets that are causing hormonal disruption, low-level pockets of energy that are causing you to hold on to excess weight, holding on to insecurities, holding on to guilt and shame, just causing extra stress and resistance. So again, you can be up here and killing it, but still have these low-level pockets of energy that need to be cleared out. So go ahead, look over your day-to-day life. I can leave you a link to my book if you don't have it yet, and figure out where do you fall, where are your low-level pockets that are going to allow you to, once you clear them out, have that harmonious hormones and help you reach your dream body with a lot more ease. Hopefully you found this inspirational. Please reach out to me with your homework for both days. Again, I am offering 3 days to work with me for free, that we can get together, you'll do your homework, and together we will create your hormone harmonizing blueprint so that you can bring your dream body into reality and really just become that girl you always dreamed of, to really dance with your natural rhythms, to evoke that next level identity, right? To find that ultimate harmony in your life. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you found it inspirational, and I will see you guys next time. Reach out to me, and let's get together and work on your blueprint. I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye, guys.